Alright, 2014 Subaru Crosstrek. We're going to be doing fog light. So, noticed the fog light was out the other day, and I looked in the book, and of course you get all these weird numbers. So, let's see if we can find it on this list. Alright, so fog light's going to be number 8. And if we follow it across, it says it's 24 volt, 24 watt, I guess. And this is the number that we're looking for. So I went to the auto parts store, and this is what they gave me. It's a Sylvania 1. There's our number. It's a 2504 is the Sylvania number. And this light bulb was 29 bucks. So kind of an expensive fog light. It just doesn't look right if it's not on. And they do actually do a pretty decent job when you're on low beams and you got bad weather. So we're going to change it. Now I can't find it in the book. But when I asked my wife to look it up as we were driving, I said, hey, what does it say? Where is it in the book? I don't know. Somewhere in here she read that you need to, I don't know, consult your dealer. But I think maybe she was reading this where they were talking about the LEDs. But lights A and B, I don't even know what it is. So A would be, we don't even have that. Well, it's B. It'll be the third brake light. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll show you how to get it off here. I'm almost to that point. It's a little bit of a trick, but not too bad. Okay, so we'll start with the tools that you need to do the job. So at the very bare minimum, you're going to need probably some sort of straight blade screwdriver. Needle nose, and then a 10mm socket either on an extension or a screwdriver type drive. Now what I like to use, and I got this years ago, I want to say back in the 90s, this is for removing plastic clips. I think I got it to do something with a door panel, but this seems to work perfect, and these aren't that expensive. I think I got this at an auto parts store. It was like I don't know, maybe 10 bucks, maybe not even that much. But anyway, there we go. So the only 10mm one you have to pull out is this little guy. There, almost, not really, sort of, and it's not going to focus. Well, I guess you could get by with a Phillips screwdriver too, if you really wanted. But I use 10mm because it's got the hex head on it. And then these little plastic keepers here. So the trick with these is you need this head to pop up. So that's where you can use your screwdriver to kind of pop it up. Boy, this just doesn't want to focus. There we go. So you can pop up pop the top with the screwdriver and then just kind of pull it out. And that releases, this part here that kind of just mushrooms out. You can get that, like I said, with either a flat blade and a needle nose or some sort of pliers, or if you have that upholstery tool, they pretty much pull right out. It's pretty simple. So, and then I'll show you what you got to do next to get to the actual fog light, or why I'm doing this, I guess. Alright, so we're under, this would be the passenger side because that's the light bulb that's not functioning. I also did drive it up on a ramp. That'll help you a little bit, I guess. I don't know if that's really necessary. You can probably still get to it. So the points that I took out, there's a little plastic keeper here. There's one right here. There's another one somewhere. I think back here. Yeah, right here there's one where my finger goes in. And then that little hex Phillips goes up in here. So then this whole thing is kind of loose, and your fog light's right above that. So what I did was just kind of pull this down like that. And you might be able to take it down further than that, but you probably don't need to because you can get to what you want. And I don't know, this plastic seems to be pretty flexible at this point. Okay, so there's two keepers there. You could probably pull those out and then you get it the rest of the way. But like I said, I don't think it really matters. So then, this makes it way easier. I can actually see up in there now. And then I'm using a very hokey light setup here. There is the back of that fog light. Now I'm not sure how that comes out, but I'm going to find out, and then I will show you once I get it out of there. on how to do that. But obviously I could see how this would be a dealer thing because you're removing panels and all sorts of goodness like that. But if you want to save yourself some money, because it's 29 bucks for the bulb, I'm sure they're going to charge you enough for that. So let me get that bulb pulled out and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so there's the bulb out. Here is the new bulb. You can see that the old one has a little bit different shape, and it's obviously burnt, it's a little darker. But so to get this thing out, one, it's really hard on your fingers, but you can do it. So if you see right here, you can kind of push this down and you can push this down. So it's just a matter of putting it in and it kind of snaps. There's no like quarter turn twist like a lot of lights worked with in the past. These are different, they're obviously Japanese. This too in the back, the plug, I don't even know. It was pretty simple. I think there's a tab you push and you just pull off. Well, that I think I can show you, but getting the light in and out, that I don't think I can do. I'm not that talented. So anyway, so this here, you just kind of push these tabs down, and then, I mean, you got to push pretty hard, and then I was kind of pulling back, and then it just came out, and you know, my thumb is still numb, but it's out. So we'll try to get this new one installed. Now what you may want to do, and I'm thinking about it, you might want to put just a little type, no, I'm not going to. I thought about putting a type of grease or maybe oil, but that may deteriorate that or end up running on the bulb. So I changed my mind. So, all right, so let's see if we can get this put back in. I'm assuming it just snaps in. All right, so that's the plug that comes off. And oh yeah, so right here, you can see, you just kind of push this down, this tab here. Just push that, and then this whole thing slides off the back of the bulb. And then, like I said, you can't see it. Let me zoom back out here. Oops. Out before we go in. I can't even see it. I'm just doing it by feel, but the hole for the light is right here. My finger goes in, and like I said, I could just kind of see it. And you just kind of push it in. I don't think there's like a left, right, up or down on it. I think once it's in, you could probably spin it because those clips kind of just snap in and hold the light in place. But so we'll find out here. I'm going to take the light and we'll just see if it snaps in or what the deal is. Also with this light, I don't know if this is true, but at least this used to be the talk back in the days with these type of bulbs. You don't want to touch the glass because the oil from your hand will heat up the bulb and cause it to go out prematurely. So I don't know, I'm always careful of that. I don't know if that really matters. Boy, this is not a real good camera angle here. Where's that hole? So yeah, I'm just doing this whole thing blind, and then okay, so I don't have it in, but if you're putting it in and you can feel like I got it like this and it doesn't want to go in, just kind of turn it a little bit and it kind of like falls in and it feels like it's in. And I think that's how it came out. It came out like this, up and down. So you have a, oh come on here camera, you have a point facing be 12 o'clock on the light and then one at 6 o'clock. Put it in like that and it kind of fits in a groove, and I'm just going to push and see what happens. Okay, nothing. All right, I'm going to kind of push on those tabs maybe and push in. Oh, I think I'm close. No, I think I got one tab in and one not. Oh, now it's jammed. That's good. Don't want to break a $29 light bulb. My luck here hasn't been the greatest. All right, let me pause the camera and I'll come back and see if I can get that outer back in. All right, so I took it a little step further here and I actually removed the whole thing from the car. Now, this was in, I checked it, and it clicked in on both sides. You can see, so that's kind of how it goes in. So it is, like I said, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And then you just push it until it snaps. Now, for some reason though, this part here, which is supposed to be attached here, this little plastic piece, somehow that got snapped off. I don't know how that happened. unless my sweatshirt or something got hooked on it when I was pulling my hand out, but you know, I was in here working, so I don't know how I would have broke. If anything, you think I would have broke this one off. So from what I understand, looking at this, that kind of holds the light in place so it doesn't rock. I think it should be okay though. I don't know, this whole thing is kind of a weird setup here. If you look at this here, this you can pull out as well, and that'll remove this black housing then from the light, or this part here. I guess I could buy a whole new light for that, or a whole new housing. I'm not going to though. I mean, it's just not worth it. So, and it may, like I said, it may or may not move. Thing is, the other one moves too a little bit, so maybe it's broke off. I don't know, maybe we plowed some snow with it coming in last winter. I don't know. Let's see where we're at here. Oops. I don't know, I'm just gonna put it back in. I think it's gonna be fine. So again, to get the thing out, since now you can see it, you squeeze down on these two tabs like this, and then you're just gonna pull straight out this way. And then when you put it in, you want to make sure, because it's hard to see because you're looking up and you really can't see the back of it. So if you have it like this, you just slowly spin it by putting just a little bit of pressure, and it'll kind of just fall into this little groove right here. Come on, just focus. Oh, it just refuses to focus on that. No, it just does not like me. I'll focus. Nope. Not wanna. There, you can kind of see it there. That's better. So right there, you'll see that's where this little plastic tab comes down. So if you're spinning the light, well, I'm gonna do it backwards like this, but if you're spinning it, you'll see it'll kind of like fall into that little groove, and then you can just push it in. And then for the back, for the plug, you're just gonna push that in. So let me get this back in. We'll double check to make sure it works and see how wiggly that light is. All right, so that's the driver's side, which there was no issue with. If we come over, whoops, this would be the passenger side. Everything there looks good, and it's not too wiggly, but it definitely, like I said, it moves a little bit here, and that's how the other one is too. I don't know. I blame Subaru because I can. I'll show you how to button this thing up then. All right, so to put these clips back in, we're just going to push them back in. Make sure that the centers, those are pulled out, because if they're not, you're probably going to have some issue getting them in. So let's see if we can get this one in here. Looks pretty good. And then basically just push it in. There should be four plastic clips. At least that's what I took out, was 4. This one right up in front here. Let's see if we can get that. This is going to be a pain. Alright, so that one's in. And then there should be one where... I'm going to get this floor cleaned off so I can move here. So we got this one over here that's kind of on the side. Uh-oh. Come on here. This one's going to be a pain. Let's try a different one. Let's see if we can do this again. Come on. And part of it is these plastic pieces aren't quite lined up the same, and I'm doing this one-handed. Oh, come on. No! Alright, I just pushed that one all the way in too. Alright, let me reset them. I'll probably have to do this two-handed. So it definitely works better if you can have 2 hands. The other thing you could do too is actually remove the center and then push the first part in, and then just snap that in, and then that gets you to where you need to be. So, and that's this cover here. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a lot of work to change a fog light, but that's the way it is, I guess. So, Alright, so that's going to be your 2014 Subaru Crosstrek fog light install. Another light bulb changed on this car.